Hey guys, so today I'm showing you guys how to make some of these, I'm calling them Witch's Brew coffee cups because they're Halloween themed, but you don't actually have to do this with Halloween paper. You could do this with any kind of pattern paper. So I'm going to insert a clip right here, and I cut out this shape with my silhouette. The shape originally came with the coffee sleeve, the top, and then the shape of the coffee cup, and then a few different ways to kind of change how this looks here, but I just wanted the plain sleeve because I'm going to decorate it. But what I did, if you have a silhouette, is I took the shape of the coffee cup and did an offset, but I did an internal offset just a little bit, and I cut that out several times, so it basically comes out to look like this. So I did several of these in white. I tried to do it in foam, and then my silhouette just didn't cut all the way through it, even though it was a really thin foam. So I just stuck with paper, and then I glued several of them together. So this is about 4 of them together, and it's still pretty thin, but you'll see it still holds in, or it still is enough room for some sequins. So they're still able to move around in there pretty easily. Ooh, maybe some of those got some glue on them. They're probably not 100% dry, but like I said, still enough space for these to move around. So I'm going to take you kind of step by step on how I made these. So I glued all of these together first, and I let those dry, and originally I just used some plain clear PVA glue. It did not work really well, so I started using my glossy accents. This worked a lot better at creating a better seal. So you'll notice with, some of my examples you'll see. Some of these I cut out with the pattern paper, and then some of them I didn't, depending on which pattern paper was in the back. Some of them looked better having the same pattern paper, and some of them didn't. So the first thing that I did is I also cut out, I took a 12 by 12 project life sheet and just cut that out as well, the same shape as this here. So I went around with some glossy accents around the whole shape. Make sure you guys can see that. Let me zoom in just a little bit. There we go. Okay. All right, and then attach this here like that, and it's slightly bigger than the outline. That's okay. You can't really tell once it's on there, but if it really does bother you, like on some of these, I did go back and kind of trim around the outside. All right, so I glued these two together, and then I glued these two together. While that's drying, so you really want something that's going to be like fine tipped. So if you don't have a glue bottle that already has a fine tip, you can buy some on Amazon and kind of transfer your glue over. I know if you guys know Danny at Pop Fizz Paper, she takes her Tombow glue and transfers it to one of those bottles with a really thin tip. So glue these two pieces together, and this kind of creates your shaker. It creates like a little cavity, I guess, where those bits can go. So I'm going to put these over to the side. And through the magic of television, I have one that's done, as you can see here. All right, so I am going to just kind of fill this with, any kind of little bits and pieces. I think I'm going to do this one. Yeah, we're gonna do some silver. So I have like some silver, and then I have like some really dark silver, kind of chrome looking stars. And I'm also gonna put a a few iridescent ones in there as well. And then the rest of my black sequins. Stick those in there. And then I'm just gonna give it like a little bit of a shake so that everything can kind of level out. Let's see, do I wanna put some glitter in this one? No, I think I'm gonna leave this as it is, no glitter. Yep. And so then I'm just gonna go around. Don't want any cat hair in there. I'm gonna go around again. And once you do this a couple of times, you can get pretty, oh, look at a bubble. You can get pretty quick with it. All right. Now that we've got that, I'm going to stick my acetate or my plastic. Now you can also do this with tulle. I actually prefer using tulle to plastic. For me, it's a lot easier to work with. I feel like the seal is a lot easier to get without getting glue everywhere. But for these, I'm using these little tiny stars, and whenever you use tulle, stars tend to, if you've got something really tiny, it'll come through the holes, but also stars tend to get caught in the tulle and they don't shake as well, I guess you could say. All right, so I'm gonna set this aside so that it can dry. I'm gonna place it underneath something. Okay, and then the last pieces that you have here are your coffee sleeve. So you see I've got this one already done. I use some of those holographic stars, some black sequins, and then some purple glitter. Okay, so you've got your coffee sleeve and the lid here. So you could, you know, put glue all the way across and it would glue itself to the plastic, but I don't like stuff sticking to the plastic. It doesn't stick as well, and also if it seeps through, it does show on the plastic a little bit, which, you know, depending on where it is, it doesn't show as much. So for example, oh, these, I've already put the lid on these, but it's, you can't see, but underneath the glue seeped out here so you could actually see it. You might be able to see it a little bit kind of in these corners. See, like right there. I don't know if you can tell. You know, in those corners it's not as noticeable, but when it's kind of here in the middle, you're more likely to see it. And then I'm gonna glue the lid on. Just line it up like that. Stick it on there. All right. And then let it dry, and you've got your Witch's Brew coffee embellishment. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna speed this up and put some music on here, and I'm actually going to embellish these a little bit further. I'm gonna put some things on the sleeves, use some of my stickers, and dress these up a bit. So I hope you guys liked the video, and I hope you guys try these out for yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.